Brandon Aiyuk is telling us exactly why he shared a picture of his twin, Mike Tomlin. Wayne, you buying it? I don't know. We're going to discuss all of that and review our second mock draft on today's episode. We're going to discuss all of that and review.
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Just a little like, you ever feel rushed?
No.
Like not this to start, like just the day. Like I started early, and then before I knew it, time was like way further along than what I thought it was. I thought if I start early, it's supposed to go slower. Like it was the exact opposite today.
Interesting. I be wanting the days to go by, just to go by. I don't know. I don't feel rushed. There's times I felt rushed, but I don't feel it right now. So I do kind of know where you're coming from, sort of. Kind of. Yeah. Anybody out there feels rushed? Happy Friday to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody. I don't know if you guys can hear. I didn't test those in the background, but hopefully you guys can hear those sound effects. But what's going on, Mike? Man, listen. You know what's funny?
Good Friday.
It's a good Friday. It's a good day. That should be the name of the next Friday too. Good Friday.
Like for religious.
No, just purposes. It's a good Friday. Like,
Oh, like in general. Like next Friday after next Good Friday?
Yeah, they should get to the Good Friday. Like
the last Friday. Oh, dum dum dum.
Doom doom doom. All right, so look, what's funny? Like, Eric Armstead put out his video yesterday, but thank goodness Brandon Aiyuk put out a video like right after.
Why? Why right after? Like, why you say it like that?
Because nobody cares about the Eric Armstead video anymore. That's what it seems like.
Is this like pinned up hate?
It's like calculated. No, I'm not hating. I thought Eric Armstead had some really good things to say. He didn't discredit the organization. He just said that they disrespected him. And, they offered the man $6 million. You know what I'm saying? $6 million.
Rightfully so. And he rightfully declined it. That's good for him.
Right, but I kind of feel why he was I feel why he felt he was disrespected.
Absolutely. I think everybody should understand both sides of the negotiation. I really do. And it's rare that happens. And everybody should also understand why it fell through. So
but I'm just saying, instead of us to I don't feel like we're going to need to elaborate on it. He spoke his piece, and I think it would continue to linger. But Uncle Shay Shay and Ochoke, the Nightcap Show interview. Brandon,
you call him Ochoke?
I know, I called him Ocho.
Oh, I thought you said Ochoke. I was about to say, let me find out you hating on my man Ocho.
They did a little podcast. So look, before we get into that, there's some new 49ers news that's out there. And so the 49ers have made an offer for restricted free agent Lions tight end Brock Wright. Wait a minute, there's gonna be two Brocks on this team.
Brock. I mean, look, we tried it with the Javon and Javon, right? And
but they were sounded differently. These are Brocks. You can't say Brock no other way, right?
You could say Brock.
Okay. But my point. All right. So anyway, that little Niners news. So you look at this guy in the. Do we have the numbers? Did they put out the numbers with the tender, or not the tender, but what the offer was?
I have not seen anything on the offer, but I haven't seen much of anything at all because of how crazy my workday has been. I saw the Ian Rappaport tweet that said some rare restricted free agent action. Lions restricted free agent Brock Wright has signed an offer sheet from the 49ers, sources say. Detroit now has 5 days to match. Detroit, you are now on the clock.
Yeah, so Detroit's going to have to match what the Niners. They don't have to match it. But if they want to retain him, the Lions would have to match the 49ers offer, at least match it. Now, this Brock Wright was tight end 2 and some tight end 1 before they made the trade for TJ Hawkinson. So, before they traded TJ Hawkinson. So,
wait,
when they traded TJ Hawkinson, excuse me, he became tight end 1. Because they just drafted Sam Laporta last year. You understand what I'm saying?
He went from the Vikings to the Lions?
He went from the Lions to the Vikings.
From the Lions to the Vikings. My bad. I said it backwards.
So he became tight end 1 during that period. Hawkinson was no longer there.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, it's good he got some tight end 1 experience.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, look, here we are. We're looking at him in 2021. He had 12 receptions. 2022, he had 18 receptions. In 2023, he had 13 receptions. So that's less than a catch a game. I don't know if that's.
I mean, pull up Charlie Warner's numbers, and that's kind of like what you got to think, because the Niners lost Warner to free agency, and they may be looking to replace that. And the question is, like, can he block? Can he do these? And so we can have the conversation, you know?
Okay, Wayne. All right, I see you. Here we go. Charlie Warner in 2020 had 3 receptions. In 2021, he had 5 receptions. All right, we don't have to do this. Like, you just embarrassing my man.
No, I'm not. Wait, who? Brock. Who are we embarrassing? I'm curious. Like, who?
Warner.
Yeah.
Warner. Like, was he ever? He was never 2 though. It was Ross Dwelly that was.
Ross Dwelly was never. Once Ross Dwelly's contract ended, they kept kept becoming a free agent, and Charlie Warner was the guy. They drafted Charlie Warner, and so they rocked out with him until his contract came down.
He has 11 career receptions.
He was never utilized as a receiving tight end. No, until recently, where he looked like he can catch.
It was a small sample size. He had 3 catches last year.
Well, I could tell you right now, Brock has a 51-yard touchdown reception, which I would say it was like a 10-yard pass, and so 41-yard yak. Like he was moving and grooving, you know. But people want to know if he could block. I mean,
he's a decent blocker. He's a decent
blocker. He's all right. I mean, his blocking grade is terrible, but if you want to say that's decent, then okay.
I'm not worried about what the grade is. I know that's like the thing, but this guy, you're not using the guy and starting him or making him active in all these games if he's not out there contributing. And if you look at his percentage of snaps,
that doesn't mean he's contributing. He's contributing by blocking. He could just been a receiving tight end. Not all tight ends block. That's why their blocking grades are low.
Why would he play 50% of the snaps if he's out there?
Because he could have been out there used as a weapon. That doesn't mean look, Mike. So there's some tight ends in the NFL that aren't asked to block, and then there's some tight ends in the NFL that are only asked to block, and then there's some tight ends in the NFL that's best of both worlds. And when they block well,
not a blocker.
When they block well, their grade is good. When they don't block well, their grade is not that good. But run blocking last year 44, great. Pass blocking 63.7. So maybe it was their scheme. Maybe he'll be a better blocker in this scheme. He's gonna have to block in this scheme. So maybe he has the potential to be a good blocker. But I think we got to go back to Notre Dame and see how this 6'5", 250-pound tight end played as a blocking, blocker there. Hey, when did we draft Mike McGlinchey? 2000.
Mike McGlinchey was
Sorry,
2018.
Aaron Banks. 20
Aaron Banks was
or 21?
2000. This will be his 4th year, so 20. Wait, 1, 2, 3,
21,
4,
right?
21.
I wonder if the Niners were looking at this kid from Notre Dame the same time they were looking at Aaron Banks. Same year. He went undrafted, Brock Wright. Banks went in the second round to the 49ers.
Let's see Brock Wright's college stuff. Because what I don't know. It's whatever.
I mean, we don't have to dive into it, man. We got to break down some of these prospects. We got to break down these prospects. But I was just thinking overall, like in general, like if you feel a 63.7 is a good pass blocking grade, then that's good.
I didn't know what the grade was. I was looking at what I saw, so I didn't know what the grade was. But I mean, if they say it was bad, then I'm not gonna argue with it.
Well, I mean, it's open for interpretation. I mean, his offensive grade was a 45.6 overall. This is just for 2023. His pass blocking grade was a 63.7, which is the best he's had in his career. His run blocking grade was a 44. He was undrafted in 2021.
We'll see. The Niners see something in him that they like. I mean, we know that it's not always about production either, because George Kittle didn't have a lot of that when they drafted him. So they're not going to base it all off of that. But we'll see what they say. I mean, they made an offer for him for a little bit. So
maybe he meant in college his grades were better. Okay. And like I said, this could be the way that, because I don't remember TJ Hawkinson being, I don't remember the Lions tight ends utilized as blockers. You get what I'm saying? Not even Hawkinson wasn't utilized as a blocker. He was more check, release, go out, catch it, run. And then they moved on from him. That's crazy. But anyway.
So I have a question about the whole tender offer, whether they match or not. So if they let him go, let's say it was a second round tender that they put on him, right? So they get the first right to match it. Do they get a second round pick from us?
Do they put? Is there a second round tender on him?
Oh, hold on, let me pull that up.
See that? Like I didn't read anything about there being a tender on him. Whereas we put a first round tender on Juwan Jennings.
It was a second. They went all the way up to a first for him.
Oh, was it a second? It was a second for Juwan Jennings. I'm sorry. We put a second round tender, which I thought was kind of high, meaning that the Niners didn't really want to move on. And if they were, I think.
So it says here, Lions free signs a offer sheet from the 49ers. So maybe there was no tender with the NFL Network.
So maybe the rule is you can't get a tender for a player that went undrafted? See, Juwan Jennings was a seventh round draft pick.
You're right, because he was undrafted. Yeah, it says right here. The 49ers
and then they cut him.
Have to give up any compensation.
Right.
Because he was undrafted.
Right.
So it's a 1-year deal, $2.98 million.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
Cool beans. All right. So NFL news: Hassan Reddick was just traded to the Jets.
Bum, 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 bum. At least they didn't do it within the division. I mean, that's probably the best thing that they've done in the NFC East all year long. Like, they just keep going, you take my guy, you take my coach, you do this, you do that. So that's cool. Hassan Reddick is out of here.
All right. Robert Saleh got him a nice piece. Nice.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
All right.
You ready to hear from Brandon Aiyuk, man?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yo, before we hit play on him real quick. So that right guy would definitely be an upgrade over Charlie Warner
in the pass catcher.
No matter how you spin it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, like it's and it's cheaper. I mean, he's cheaper. I didn't mean to say it, but he would be he's a cheaper option. Now he has to make the roster, but
of course, yeah.
He would be a cheaper
but if he
option.
doesn't, that's a really good sign. Also, that means that somebody else is better. Yeah, okay.
Because you're hoping that your young guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
this was the most interesting clip I saw from this thing, and we're gonna let Aiyuk explain himself here.
There's a photo of Mike Tomlin. You are split. I think you retweeted it. Of Mike Tomlin, and you was like, "Hey, you tweeted a picture of you and Mike. Said, hey, they say we're twins. What do you think?" How surprised are you that photo has garnered the attention that it has? Y'all do kind of look like twins, Brandon, or y'all or cousins or something.
Or cousins or something. Oh shit, I'm not on mute.
Dog Bo my dog Bo from South Carolina. You look like him, but nah. I mean that picture. It was funny. I had seen it like right after the Super Bowl. You know, they trying to kick you while you already down. So I'm like, all right, it's cool. Y'all get it. Y'all can get at me. Y'all get at me. It's all good. I'll take it. Because you know, and I've been talking shit. They got it. So then they got me again. But it was cool. I just brought it back full circle because I felt like I was waking up like this like every day while you under negotiating or whatever you want to call contract talks. Every day is like a different day. So it's just like that. So I had woke up. So I was like, you know what? Like I keep bringing up my birthday. I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna leave my exit alone. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna wait till after my birthday. And then I'm trying to put a little bit more pressure on them. So I get there. I wake up right after I wake up, and they talking about another team again. They talking about another team that they got me supposed to been in trade talks or whatever. So I said, hey, let me just go ahead and if everybody's saying this and this and that, let me go ahead and let me just put out one of my little spots that I and I'll revert back to Tomlin. We can have a little bit of fun with it. It's all in fun. It's all.
Well,
did you hear what he said right there?
No, what did he say?
Put out one of my little spots that I and I'll revert back.
Bro, see, I'm all about what he said. And
if everybody's saying this and this and that, let me go ahead and let me just put out one of my little spots that I and I'll revert back to Tomlin. We can have a little bit of fun with it. It's all.
Bro, he wants to go to the Steelers. What was he not saying there? What was he stopping himself from saying there?
I don't know, Mike. This is all you. So I want to know what you like. What from what he's not saying? What makes you think he wants to go to the Steelers?
He said, so since they want to play like that, it's another rumor. Let me put out one of my little spots that I wouldn't. And then he like just stopped saying what he was saying. That's somewhere he would not mind going.
Oh, I mean,
one of my little spots.
Okay, but that doesn't mean he wants to go there, right?
Yes. Yeah. I agree. That means that he wouldn't mind going.
Yeah, like earlier on my show, I said something like the only way he would become a Steeler, and I said a Steeler too, like because this is where he would be. And I got another tidbit. Ooh, can you just give me a high five? Let me tell you how dope you are. So that's the second time he mentioned Steelers on that podcast. Do you remember what the first time was?
No.
Who averaged more yards per reception than Brandon Aiyuk? Brandon Aiyuk was number 1 until week 17.
It wasn't Johnson.
I'll give you a hint. It was a Steeler.
That's what I'm saying. Deontay Johnson. Who was there wide receivers? Who was it? I don't know. Was it a tight end?
No, it was the other wide receiver. Say his name.
I don't remember who it is. Who's the other wide receiver? I'm having a brain fart. Pickens? George Pickens.
George Pickens, bro.
George Pickens.
So they were asking him about that, and that was the only thing Aiyuk was pissed off about, like, other than not winning the Super Bowl. He was pissed off because he was like leading in that statistical category, and he was pissed because Brock didn't play week 17. The last week, Brock didn't play, and he didn't get any targets to defend that number. And so Pickens ended up winning that one statistical category. That was the first time he mentioned the Steelers. The question is, why would he want to go to a team where he gonna have to compete against a dude that beat him for yards per reception?
I mean, the flip side is they know what he could do with yards per reception. They know what I could do. So pick your poison.
So now
One
you
of us
got
gonna
2
eat.
yards per reception. Whoa. I see what
One
you're
of us-
doing.
One of us gonna eat. Yeah.
I like it.
that. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, look, Mike, I think you're reaching. But you're
I
reaching.
do that a lot.
Yeah, but this could potentially be. It could potentially happen. Look, I don't think the only way this will really happen, Mike, is if the Niners say, "All right, Brandon, listen, we're gonna offer you $6 million a year." Like it gotta be like super low ball to where Brandon Aiyuk is gonna be like, you, like right, like
Right.
that. That's the Niners aren't stupid, right? Right.
I hope not.
What would be a low ball number to Brandon Aiyuk? For Brandon Aiyuk, like what do you think would be that low ball number?
I think if they come in anywhere less than 20 million a year.
So
Anything
I think
less than 20 million a year.
I think the Niners are right. Okay, so right, so that sounds crazy, but wouldn't that be crazy? Like that would be a low ball number, and then I don't think Brandon. I don't think you can savage, like I said, not savage. I don't think you can rekindle the relationship if you lowball him like that. Like you have to start at 20, like at least 21, probably.
Oh no, they go knowing the Niners, they're gonna start at 12 and be like,
No, they
playing.
can't. They can't.
We was just
Listen,
playing.
Brandon Aiyuk won't even say bye.
Nah, because the first round tender is what, 14, 15?
14.1. Yeah. The 5th round, you mean?
The 5th year option, yeah.
Option, yeah.
So they can't start any lower than that. So they got to come at the table with like 16. Like, come on, man.
No, they that's too low.
Right. We're trying to keep it together. Come on, Brandon, help us out here, man. Favorite man, come on.
No.
Come on.
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm okay with disrespecting an older player that might be on the decline. When we talk about a kid that's 26 years old that hasn't even hit his prime yet, I don't think I would be willing to play that game. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Mike, we got to review these picks, and we won't do all of them. We'll just do the main ones. So let's get through these picks.
Well, that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and say this now, then, since you just put it out there like that. I was trying to find some information on the last two guys.
Good.
He said good. All right. Well, let's get going, man. The first pick that we had was pick 31, center Zach Frazier.
Zach Frazier, like good center, powerful guy. I'm not sure he would be a upgrade. My question is, how well will he play in the zone scheme? But you're gonna get smart guy, can do all the things that centers do, but how well is he moving? Like, you know what I'm saying, out there in the run blocking. So top 5 center in the draft, could easily go in the first round.
Does center go in the first round these days still?
They did a few years ago. I feel like the last center I remember being taken was Cesar Ruiz from Michigan in the first round. But I know this year you'll get Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon, and maybe, depending on if a team needs a center, Zach Frazier.
Okay. I was trying to put the
wheel together.
No, not the wheel. I was going to do the ticker across the bottom. I'm almost done too. It's like it's right there.
Gotcha.
I could tell you what I got on him though.
Okay.
I got let me give you hello GUE. All right. So Zach Frazier. Here we go. Solid for West Virginia in 2023. He is tough and has enough size to be a potential starter in the NFL. As an underclassman, Frazier was a good blocker for West Virginia, starting his freshman season at guard before moving to center as a sophomore. Versatility. Frazier did not allow a sack during his freshman season at guard before giving up 3 sacks in 2021. In 2022, he was a starting center and allowed only 1 sack all season long. Center could potentially be his best fit in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean that's what I got. 6'3", 310.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he would potentially he would immediately, in my opinion, be an upgrade. Like an upgrade. Will he start week 1? It will come down to how quick he will be able to learn the system and operate the system. Like it's not, oh yeah, you can learn it, but can you perform in it? And so that would be the question. But you got Jake Brendel on another year, and so this could allow Zach Frazier to get time to get those reps that he needs. But again, 74.5 offensive PFF grade, 73.2 run blocking, 77.9 pass blocking. He didn't allow any sacks, like you said, a few hits, couple of hurries, total of 7 pressures. He did have 4 penalties on the season, but like you said, you can get him. He is a versatile guy, center and left guard. So
they run a spread offense in West Virginia, or is it like pro style? Like what? I'm not sure.
I don't know off the top of my head. No.
I would be interested to know if he can call out defenses, man. I think physically he would be more capable than Brindle, right? But what about mentally? Because I think that's what the Niners care about, the center position. I don't think they care about physical as much as they care about mental.
I physically he's the dude. He seems smart enough to be able to call out the protections, slide the protections, call out what centers need to do for Kyle Shanahan. I think it would be a good pick. He clearly likes West Virginia. Just ask Colt McKivitz. All right, the second pick we got, Mike, is
the second pick was Jonathan Brooks from Texas, man. 6 foot, 207-pound guy, running back, baby, tough runner, man. Wayne, you were hype about this pick, man. This is somebody who would come in right away, averaging over 6 yards a carry. Talk about it, Wayne, man. Why did this pick get you so hyped? Because you were like, Mike, we just got the best running back in the whole draft, Mike. We got him. Strong,
it's just
quick, athletic.
It's his ability and what he could do with the football in his hands, whether it's in space, whether it's through the gaps. And he did deal with a little injury in Texas, but I think he's the best running back in this draft, and he will be available for the Niners to draft. Now, I know that they don't need a running back, but I mean, Christian McCaffrey's getting a little older, and then you got guys that aren't as dynamic. And so if you're looking for a dynamic particular type of style of back that's kind of like Christian McCaffrey-esque, it would be Jonathan Brooks. I like his low base to the ground. I like the way he's able to get low. He has really good feet. He has great vision as a running back. And like I said, man, this dude is a problem. He's great hands out of the backfield. I'll get his stats and stuff pulled up in a second, but I think this would be a solid pick for the Niners. Will they draft a running back in round 2? Hell nah. But again, he's available. He's going to be available because I don't see teams taking running backs early.
Super early. Yeah. This is a guy that should be around and well within the Niners' reach. I think maybe even at 94. Who knows?
It's possible. Like you said, if the running backs don't go early, like he might be 1 or 2 off the board, but if the running backs don't go early, you could probably be right. They get pushed back.
Yeah. It's cool. But yeah, good guy, and it'd be exciting. He's gonna have a good career. He's gonna be fun to watch in the NFL, no matter how you try to spin it. So I'm happy that we were able to land him. That's always good. Our third pick of our mock draft was pick 94, guard Christian Mahogany from Boston College. And that's right, guys, ring your bells. Former team ACL. The Trent Baalke special. But his thing was ACL. ACL injury was in 2022. He did bounce back and play. I don't know if he returned to true form. And they said that it says here he faces some limitations for the NFL. He's 6'3", 322. Decent measurements. I mean, what are the limitations here with Boston College's guard, Christian Mahogany? Wayne?
I don't think there are any limitations. I think it's just gonna come down to him getting into the system and just playing his style like football. Like right, like you talk about 6'3", 230, 322 pounds. This kid's a mauler. He's a monster. He can move. Has good feet. Like at the end of the day, like you're asking him to get out there and run block, lead those blocks, them zone runs to the outside. Like that's what he can do. Like and so as far as his pass pro, I mean, he gave up 7 pressures, but no sacks, and all of his plays were hurries, like no hits either. So he's not even giving up hits. So you tell me where he's gonna struggle in the NFL. I just think that the kid, he comes into a 49ers offensive line. You get him in the 3rd round. He could potentially be a day 1 starter. He's going to have to go up against veterans like John Feliciano, and he's going to have to go up against, guys like, I'm not going to say Aaron Banks because I think Aaron Banks got the left side sold. But if Spencer Burford continues to make a push to be the right guard, I think that's your competition. I think he can beat out a veteran in Feliciano, and he could beat out a veteran in Spencer Burford, who was converted to a guard. This guy plays guard, right? So you don't have to worry about him trying to play something else. He also took some snaps at, guess what, right tackle. So the right side is his side. That's where he likes to be. I think it's a good pick. You getting a top lineman in the 3rd round. And why is he falling? Just other guards are going to be available. And I think the guard position gets pushed back after that 1st round. I think the run on linemen happened in the 1st round.
Okay. All right. I like it, man. I like it. We're going to keep this party going here. Good, nice breakdown there. The next pick for the San Francisco 49ers in our 2024 mock draft was quite a bit of a surprise to me. Another Javon for the defensive line, guys. As Javon Solomon, all right, from Troy. All right, now, Wayne, this guy comes in here and good pass rusher, 16 sacks, 55 tackles, and 3 forced fumbles. This guy was a wrecking ball out there. He had 4.5 sacks and 44 tackles in 2022 after a breakout season in 21 where he recorded 50 tackles and 11 sacks. I mean, this guy lives in the backfield. Why is he falling so far down the draft poll? What is his issue? 6 feet, 247, and ran a 4.72.
I think it's just where he's kind of like pooled. He went to Troy, and then you gotta look at some of the talent that he played against and things like that. But I think personally it's just where he is in the PFF pool. His measurables stand out, and he performed pretty daggone well at the combine. He has speed out there off the edge, and he's very productive. He could play in the 3-4. He could play in a 4-3. What did you say his weight was off the top? Did you say his weight?
247. Yeah, I said 6 foot 247.
Yeah, so that's the size, right? Like he's not heavy on the edge. He can bend, he can power, he can rip, he can move. That's a good. This will just be a solid pick. He doesn't have the freakish attributes of like what we see from like a Drake Greenlaw. A Drake Jackson, but still he's very highly productive, and I think that's what you want. You want high motor, don't take plays off, and continue to nag and get to the quarterback, right? And so I actually like this pick and Javon Solomon. I think he's only in that 4th round. He's just available for us. I think teams really see where he's going to go. I kind of got like a 2nd to 3rd round grade on him.
Ooh, okay. And see, I think people are going to be hesitant. I don't know what his arm measurements are. I should pull that up, but the 6 foot 247, he's going to be one of the smaller ends in this draft class. He's going to be one of the smaller guys coming. I mean, that's me. That's me. I think people are typically looking at 6'2", 6'3" for that size, and that might be why some of these things have him low, just because of measurements, which is crazy. Like, how do you ignore all of that production on the field and just be like, and then you're going to look at who he played against too, right? But how do you ignore all of that and just be like, oh, well, he's 6 feet, so never mind.
This dude is his measurables is what's going to move him up the draft. I'm sorry. There's nothing like this dude is 6 foot 3/4 inches, so he's almost 6'1". He's 247. His hands are 10 5/8. His arm is 33 3/4 for his arm. His wingspan is 80 inches. There's no way this dude is falling to the 4th round. And you told me his production was what? I tell you what, I'll look up this stuff. You talk about these players, we get to show on the road.
the production was crazy, man. I told you, 16 sacks last year, 55 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. The year before that was 4.5 sacks, 44 tackles. And the year before that was 50 tackles and 11 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Like, he lives in the backfield. This guy is a monster. He's a wrecking ball.
It would be silly to not, have him here. So, yeah. Like, if he's
Yeah.
available, he's smacking you, and he's there in the 4th round, the Niners can potentially get an elite edge rusher in the 4th round if he's available.
Wow. All right, here was the surprise of our whole mock draft situation here. Pick number 132, quarterback Jordan Travis from Florida State.
Yeah.
Now, Wayne, was this us just kind of being silly, or do we really think that the Niners might be drafting somebody as early as the 4th round?
A little bit of silliness from the two of us, just to shake things up, because you see a guy that could come in here and be a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more athleticism, but still do the same things that we're used to seeing from a 49ers quarterback for Kyle Shanahan as far as efficiency and things like that. And Jordan Travis is also coming off of an injury from Florida State. But the kid at 6'1", he's 200 pounds. His wingspan is about 76 inches. None of that matters, but like at the point, my point is the kid has athleticism as well as a good arm. And he's highly accurate and efficient. And I think with Jordan Travis, I mean, if he wasn't injured for Florida State, they probably would have had a nice run and been able to push, into that, bracket for that bowl game. But unfortunately, they didn't have a quarterback. They didn't even have their backup quarterback. So I get what happened there.
Right.
But listen, Jordan Travis could be a problem. Were we being funny? Yeah, but like, realistically, I know the Niners signed Josh Dobbs. They shouldn't draft a quarterback. They probably will go the undrafted free agent route. This guy's getting drafted. If you see your guy there, if he's on your board, why not? Why not bring? I'm all for competition, bro.
I'd be really interested to see just where or if he gets drafted. That was a nasty leg injury he had, and it was in the second to last game of Florida State season.
It was
so
terrible.
It happened kind of late. Yeah, it happened kind of late. And he was already a backup as it was. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to know if he gets drafted at all. Are people going to be a little bit more skeptic about it? And I'm sure that this received a terrible draft grade probably on our thing, but because of the injury and, like I said, how late it happened, all that teams are probably going to be scared off of him. But this is a guy that I would be like, hey, nobody believed in you. We took you. Like, you could play into this.
So for the 49ers, like what you said is like, if this dude happens to go undrafted, this dude is probably ding, 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 like going to be on their radar. And so I'm glad that we mock draft him so we could put him on the radar for the faithful. Like, this is a guy you want to come in to be a quarterback. Like, he can run the system.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep it pushing here, man. Our last 4th round pick is here at 135, and this one was cornerback Dwight McGlothern from Arkansas. All right, Wayne.
Yeah, he's 6'1".
I got the numbers here. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, he's 6'1", 185. Kind of like what the Niners like for their corners. He'd be an outside guy, in my opinion. Wingspan 74, almost 75 inches. Arm length is about 30.5.
Yeah, I mean, and he had some decent numbers, right?
Decent numbers, yeah.
3 interceptions, 6 PBUs. In the previous season, he had 4 interceptions, 10 PBUs, and 52 tackles. So he's not afraid to get his nose dirty at all. And the one thing that you see about him when you look him up, is ball skills. Those are 2 words that you see a lot associated with him. And that's what you want from a corner. Trust his instincts, and more importantly, trust his studying. So he's someone that's going to be ready and prepared to play. It's just about how physical he can be.
He kind of reminds me of Lenore, and not saying that Lenore was a project, but I mean, they did draft Lenore, in the 5th round, if I'm not mistaken. And so they kind of got like the same little bulldog kind of like mentality out there on the outside. And so that's kind of what I get from him.
Yeah, it was a fun little project there. Like I said, just got to bulk up a little bit, maybe get a little bit stronger. But I mean, do you want your guys being physical, or you want them knocking down passes? So,
well, how fast did he run? That would be a good question. Let me see if I can find that.
4 4.47.
So he's a 4.47 runner.
Yeah. I mean, that's man,
decent.
Yeah. So
That's because the average, I guess the average speed of the wide receivers are 4.4, maybe 4.5, maybe 4.4. So yeah. But if you trust his ball skills, like you said, like that speed doesn't really,
doesn't matter
mean,
too much. It's more of a recovery time thing than if you
yes.
get,
Yes.
So all right, let's keep it moving here, man. Pick 176 was wide receiver and legacy pick here. You guys wanted one, you got it. Luke McCaffrey, wide receiver from Rice. 61202. Oh, here we go. I'll give you guys his numbers while Wayne gets the measurables ready. Caught 71 passes for 992 yards and 13 touchdowns in 2023. In 2022, he caught only 58 receptions for 723 yards and 6 touchdowns. But he also did some things well at the Senior Bowl that impressed teams and has some quarterback knowledge in that dome as well. Wayne, talk about the wide receiver. Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, legacy pick. I like Luke because I just think he makes the right plays. He runs the right routes. He knows how to get open, has really solid hands. His measurables aren't going to stand out and be like, oh, yeah, this dude's a freak, as far as athlete. But I tell you what, he runs faster than his brother, and he's tough to bring down. And so, I mean, these are things that you can't, you can't take for granted. 6'1", 198 pounds. His wingspan is about 74.5 inches. His arm length is about 30 in the 1/8 inch, and so like when I look at the kid, I'm like, all right, what am I noticing from him? I think it's his ability to just, because he played quarterback, I just think he knows how to dive into being a wide receiver, in his 1 year at Rice. And I thought he did it pretty well. And so I look at Luke, I mean, he ran a 4.46. His split was a 1.52. His vertical was 36. His broad, though, shows you that he could jump, right? And so, like, his broad is 10 feet 1 inch. And here's what's most impressive. His 3-cone is 6'7". So now you're talking about a guy that could get into breaks, get out of breaks, get there, catch the ball, boom, 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 right? And so, like, that to me just screams Kyle Shanahan. He wants the wide receivers that trust their hands, and that's it. And so I like Luke. I like Luke. You can kind of put him in the slot and let him cook. Let him cook.
Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving, man. A nice shifty guy to add to the bunch. I like that. 6th round pick is on deck right now, guys. To pick 211, defensive interior lineman. So I would call him a defensive tackle. Zion. How do you say this last name? Is it Logie? Is it Luge?
Ooh,
is it
I like Luge. Luge is dope because it sounds like Rouge. Or it could be Logue because of Rogue.
It's true. It's true. So I don't know how to pronounce it. No disrespect intended. Here we go. Here he had 17 total tackles in 2023 with a half of a sack and 2 passes defense. And then 2022 he had 16 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 pass defense, and then 11 tackles and 8 tackles respectively in 21 and 20.
It's a big kid, man.
Playing football for a long time.
It's a big kid. That 6'6", 314. Big kid. And you're looking for depth. I mean, this is a guy that can probably develop. But I mean, the athleticism isn't really there for his size. 5'14" and 40, 182 split, 29-inch vertical, 9 foot 1 inch broad jump. His shuttle was 4.92. His 20-yard shuttle is a 4.92. But I guess when you look at him, the question is like what's his motor going to be like, and how well will he be in his rotative piece? And I think if you keep him in that for a year or two, to where he develops, he could be a problem. He did come out of a good program in Georgia. He comes off the ball high. I mean, he comes off the ball with decent pad level. So it's not like he's going to get, blown back. He's literally looking to push them offensive linemen out the way so that those linebackers could come and fill in the gaps. You know what I'm saying? But there's just some things he has to work on. His production isn't high, and it is what it is. He's not like one of those premier dudes we're used to hearing from Georgia, right? Like,
Right.
But you got to give him some time in a Chris Kosaric system. He could potentially be a good tool.
Does the Georgia cachet, is that enough? The respect that those defensive linemen get in the draft, is that enough?
Yeah, I think
him.
I think Kosaric likes these types of projects, and so yeah. But again, the production wasn't super high, and it could have been because of who he was rotating behind or whatever. I think Chris Kosaric can turn a diamond, whatever, into a diamond. And yeah. I'm sorry, I wasn't high on a guy like DJ Jones, but he came in and he did what he needed to do, and he developed. But on the flip side, what's that other big like Contavia Street didn't develop, right? And so he's kind of big, like 6'6", 315. God dang, he's huge.
Right. Yeah, big boy here in Zion. So, all right, it'll be interesting to see what happens, man. I don't know. Every time I feel like the Niners are getting away from the big guys, you know what I'm saying? They do something like this that says, yeah, but y'all can't just pin us in a hole. Like, don't just assume y'all know what we are, who we are. And so something like this would not surprise me because all of their acquisitions have been 300 plus, like so far through this season, through this offseason, 300 plus and around this, 6'3", 6'4". So this will be interesting. This will be interesting to see how it works out. Good call there. We got two more here. Safety from Air Force, Trey Taylor at pick 215.
215. Free safety, can play in the slot. So he's a versatile guy. Let's see. His 3-cone was a 6'9". He bench pressed 22 reps. His broad jump was 123 inches. His shuttle was 4.13. His wingspan is 76 4/8 or 76 1/2. His arm length is 32 1/8. His hands are 9 2/8. He ran a 4.59, but that's slower than that's faster than a 4.6. His vertical was 37 1/2 inches. I like the way he processes the game from the deep safety spot. But then I like the fact that he can be versatile. Like he can play, he can be a nickel back. He can play in the box. He started all 13 games in 2022. Do you have any more of his stops? He led the team in tackles. He has 69 tackles. 41
in 2022
stops.
Yeah. And in 2023 at 74 tackles, half a sack, 3 interceptions. And by the way, when he gets the ball in his hands,
he's ghost. So somebody tell me what that 4.6 speed mean.
My man averaged 32 yards interception, bro. That is crazy. And think about that. Coming from the safety position, so you're running through the whole rest of the field. Like everybody else is up, like, oh man, come on. He got pay dirt one time. And has 4 pass defense at least in every single college year. He had 5 in 2021. So this is a guy that has the mental wherewithal. Now you just got to see if you can get that to translate to the NFL. Air Force. I'm not gonna disrespect them or anything like that, but it's not.
I got you.
We'll have to see.
It's the talent. It's who they play. Listen,
But that's why you get guys like this in the 6th round, right?
Right. And I mean, think about where we draft safeties. Why are we acting like we're gonna take a safety higher than the 6th round? Somebody tell me why, how, where, when. Like, this is where the Niners, they value the position and they feel like if they could get more for their buck or where they're drafting the safety, then kudos. And if not, well, it was a 6th round pick. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I actually think this is where they're going to look to draft another safety. You already know that they're trying to bring in some type of a veteran type of a safety. So look, we just got to, I like the prospect. I do.
Yeah. Now, this last pick that we have here is pick 251. It's tight end Isaac Rex from BYU. Now, before we give any of his numbers, Wayne, I just want to applaud you on getting this guy because these numbers are eerily similar to a guy that the Niners just made an offer to today.
Brock Wright, right?
Now, yeah, so understand that it's college and all that stuff, but this guy has 34 receptions, 3 touchdowns. Now, he does have a long of 65. I don't think Wright has that kind of a long.
He has a 51.
Game.
He has a 51.
Oh, he does have a 50. Oh, that's right. You did say he had a 51. Yeah. The touchdown to catch ratio is very close for guys like this. These tight ends, that means that they're usually red zone threats. Like I like that. I like that when you have a little bit of catches, but you got 5 touchdowns, right? So in 2022, he had only 22 receptions, but 6 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? In 2020, check this out. This guy's he's been in college forever. Is this the longest college person I've ever seen in my life? He's got 2019 college stats. How the hell is that possible? All right, never mind. Let me chill. In 2020, he had 37 receptions, but 12 of them were touchdowns. That's every 3 catches was a touchdown, Wayne. This guy knows how to get the ball in the end zone.
Look, I just think that the Niners are looking to they have types. I don't think they want they're hoping they land and place another George Kittle type. But some of the things you got to be able to do with the 49ers is be a red zone target. And so you're talking 6'5", 6'5", 250. This is the same guy. We just literally just trying to get in for a restricted free agent. Same weight, same height. They went to different schools. 9 6/8 hands, arms 32, wingspan 78.5 inches. Look, this could be a kid that the 49ers can bring in and could potentially, be a target when they get down to the red zone. And I like that. I like that they're specifying what type of targets they want in that red zone because it lets me know that they're going to be in the red zone. Now, it's projected that he's going to go undrafted, right? And so we'll see what happens. That's why we took him with that last pick. And we'll see what goes down. We'll see what goes down. But hands are good. He's good in the short routes. He's good in the intermediate routes. He can run the deep threat, and he's good in blocking. So you look at all those things, you might be able to get this kid, and you didn't have to waste the draft pick on him.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out, and I do believe that tight ends will be added to this 49ers roster, be it draft or undrafted free agents. I think that they're going to have a nice little bit of depth competition going on there. And you got 2 guys from last year who also say, hey, they picked us for a reason. So it's going to be a very, very fun position group to watch for that tight end 2 and 3 position. So
I agree.
It'll be fun.
I agree 100%. And again, if they do draft a kid like Isaac Rex from BYU, he's got, a long way to go to get there because he's got to come out, it's George Kittle. But the good thing is, the bad thing is he's got a long way to go. The good thing is all the guys got a long way to go.
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
He's coming into pretty even footing. I mean, this is as even as it gets right here. When they get rid of Dwelly and Warner,
there you go.
This is as even as it gets right now.
There you go. And those dudes were vets. And so now those vets are gone. I mean, they still have one more vet, I think, on the roster. I'm not sure.
The long snapper? Isn't he?
No.
Tight end also?
No, not Tabor Pepper. That's not who I'm talking about. There's another tight end on the roster. I just can't think of who it is.
Fumagali's not here no more. So
no, he's gone. But there's another one that they ended up getting. I do remember that. So there's a possibility. Look, the tight ends will be addressed. And Cameron Latu's coming off of that meniscus injury. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, I'm hoping Jaden Willis improves and does what he needs to do. I would love to see what he can do. Braden Willis.
Crazy.
Sorry.
Braden Willis. But I'm dumb excited for Latu. I swear to God, if he could just catch the damn ball.
Which he did before he got hurt.
In preseason. Yeah. I swear
he caught a touchdown pass
so excited about him.
in one of them games and then got hurt or something like that.
Yeah.
So
All right, guys, listen, man, we hope you guys enjoyed. Got some more information on some of these prospects. We try not to drown you guys out with too many prospects. There's thousands of them, and we know all of them aren't coming to the Niners. And so hopefully we give you guys something to look at, something to think about. Maybe you guys figure out who you think the Niners should target based off of type. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to do it for us today. Wayne, any final words before we wrap this thing up, man?
Hey, man, happy Easter weekend to everybody out there, man. Enjoy spending time with your loved ones.
Yeah, we live all the time, kicking it with the fam, bro. That's Breezie. I'm Mike, and this is the B.A.M Show. Peace.